1978 was a year shaped by sound. Disco lit the nights, soft rock filled the quiet hours, and music seemed to follow you everywhere. Some songs soared high, then vanished just as quickly. One-hit wonders that left behind a feeling, a moment, a memory. Here on Americast, we're revisiting 10 of those tracks from 1978 and possibly a couple of hidden gems at the end. Let's begin. Released in 1978, Driver's Seat became the defining track for Sniff and the Tears, a British band fronted by singer and songwriter Paul Roberts.
Jenny was sweet. She always smiled for the people she need.
Built around a steady rhythm and a cool, detached vocal, the song felt like it belonged on the open road, though Roberts later explained it was written after a breakup, more about emotional recovery than travel.
News is blue. The news is blue. I just don't wait to get to you.
It reached the top 20 in the US and performed well across Europe, earning the band brief international attention. While internal changes and lineup shifts followed soon after, Driver's Seat remained their lasting contribution. Magnet and Steel, Walter Egan. Released in 1978, Magnet and Steel became the signature hit for Walter Egan.
You're so close now, I can't let you go.
A singer-songwriter with roots in the Southern California scene. The song was inspired by his brief infatuation with Stevie Nicks, who, along with Lindsey Buckingham, contributed vocals and production support in the studio.
I can't hope that I hold you for long.
With its smooth harmonies and soft pop production, the track reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a staple of late 70s radio. While Egan continued recording and performing, Magnet and Steel remained the track most closely tied to his name. Thunder Island, Jay Ferguson. In 1978, Thunder Island gave Jay Ferguson his biggest solo hit. After earlier success with the bands Spirit and JoJo Gunn, Ferguson moved in a different direction, blending light rock with a coastal, radio-friendly sound. The song was inspired by a trip to the Florida Keys and carried a laid-back energy that resonated with listeners that summer. It reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a regular fixture on rock and soft pop stations alike. While Ferguson continued to write and work in music, including scoring for film and television, Thunder Island remained his most recognizable moment. Hot Child in the City, Nick Gilder. Released in 1978, Hot Child in the City became the biggest solo hit for Canadian singer Nick Gilder, formerly of the glam rock band Sweeney Todd. The song was written after Gilder spent time in Los Angeles and witnessed firsthand the struggles of young runaways and life on the streets.
Danger, dressed in black, she's a hungry child.
Though its sound leaned toward polished pop, the lyrics reflected something more serious.
No one knows who she is, or what her name is.
Some stations hesitated to give it airplay at first, but it eventually climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Gilder would continue writing and performing, including work for other artists, but Hot Child in the City remained his signature. Dance With Me, Peter Brown. Released in 1978, Dance With Me became the biggest mainstream hit for Peter Brown, a singer and producer out of the Miami music scene.
Let your mind and your body be free. Dance with me.
Known earlier for club tracks and regional success, Brown blended elements of funk, pop, and disco into a polished single that found a wider audience. The track reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and helped bridge the gap between underground dance floors and commercial radio. Though Brown continued to release music into the early 80s, this remained his most recognized hit, a smooth, mid-tempo groove that captured the sound of late 70s nightlife at its most accessible. Sometimes When We Touch, Dan Hill.
I'd rather hurt you honestly.
In 1978, Sometimes When We Touch brought Canadian singer-songwriter Dan Hill his first major international success. Written when he was in his early 20s, The song reflected the vulnerability and uncertainty of a relationship under strain.
Only just beginning to see the real you.
Its soft piano arrangement and emotional vocal delivery stood out in a year filled with disco and pop, reaching number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Though Hill would continue to write and record, including for other artists, this remained his most widely known song. I Love the Nightlife, Alicia Bridges.
Talk about love tonight. Please don't talk about sweet love.
Released in 1978, I Love the Nightlife became the breakout hit for Alicia Bridges.
Go where the people dance. I want some action. I wanna live.
Originally written as a blues song, the track was reworked during production with a stronger disco rhythm, a change that gave it wide appeal in clubs and on pop radio.
Talking won't make it right. Love at last, just a friend again.
The single reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a staple of the late disco era. Though Bridges expressed a preference for rock and blues styles in interviews, the success of I Love the Nightlife placed her firmly in the disco spotlight. While follow-up singles didn't find the same traction, the song remained a recognizable part of the era's soundtrack. My Angel Baby, Toby Bo.
We've got trouble, something's just not right.
Released in 1978, My Angel Baby gave Toby Bo their biggest chart success. The band, originally from Texas, combined soft pop with light rock elements to create a polished, radio-friendly single that reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. The track's gentle tone and romantic lyrics made it a popular summer song that year. While the group continued recording and touring, follow-up singles didn't repeat the same commercial impact. Over time, My Angel Baby remained their best-known release. Get Off, Foxy. In 1978, Get Off gave Foxy their biggest national breakthrough. The band came out of Miami, blending funk, disco, and Latin rhythms into a high-energy track that reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. With its driving beat and distinctive percussion, the song became a club favorite and briefly put the group in the spotlight. While Foxy released additional singles and albums, none reached the same level of chart success. Today, Get Off stands as their most recognizable track. I Can't Stand the Rain, Eruption.
I can't stand the rain. It's my window.
Released in 1978, Eruption's version of I Can't Stand the Rain brought new energy to a song originally recorded by Ann Peebles in 1973. Led by vocalist Precious Wilson, the group reworked the ballad into a disco track with a darker, more atmospheric tone. The single reached the top 10 in several countries and gave Eruption their most widely recognized hit. Though they continued releasing music into the early 80s, they didn't return to the same chart heights. Wilson later left to pursue a solo career, and I Can't Stand the Rain remained the group's standout. Falling, LeBlanc and Carr.
I think about winter when I was with her and the snow was falling.
Released in early 1978, Falling became the signature hit for LeBlanc and Carr, a duo made up of session musicians Lenny LeBlanc and Pete Carr. Based in Alabama, the two had worked behind the scenes for years before stepping into the spotlight with this soft rock ballad. The song's simple arrangement and smooth harmonies helped it climb to number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. While they didn't return to the charts as a duo, both remained active in the music industry, particularly as producers and writers. Some songs only visit the charts once, but they don't always fade away. 1978 brought a mix of soft ballads, disco rhythms, and radio-ready anthems that defined their moment and quietly held on. For a short time, these voices were everywhere. Then, just as quickly, they were gone. But the songs stayed. Whether you heard them at a school dance, in a car, or late at night on the radio, the memories tend to last longer than expected. If one of them brought something back for you, let us know. And if you're still listening, thanks for coming along.